Kanban means visual card, right? Again, the Kanban method is also derived from Toyota production systems, right? And the Japanese meaning of the word Kanban is signboard, right? Now, see, there is a Kanban board in front of you, right? What does this Kanban board depicts, right? This Kanban shows, right, the work items, right, right, at each stage of the project life cycle, right? Or it can be this Kanban board can show, you can draw it at sprint level also if you are using it with along with the iteration, right? At every, they show items at various stage within the sprint. So you can do it. You can have a Kanban board like this at a project level or a product backlog level or a product level. You can have it at release level also. You can have a Kanban board at a sprint level also, right? The one I have shown you is a slightly detailed one, which is at sprint level. But let me show you some simple Kanban board first, right? Now, this is also a Kanban board, right? I'll show you much simple. Now, this is one of the very simplest Kanban board, right? Now, see every item, whether at a project level or at a release level or at a sprint level, will it go through these stages?
Pankaj, what you said about this when you said can is the visual, right?
Can means visual, ban means card, right?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
actually the Japanese meaning of the word Kanban is signboard, right?
Okay.
And it depicts, the flow of
Visual
work,
card.
a visual card, right? And it depicts the flow of work, at different stages of a value stream or a workflow. Now, I'm showing you first I'm showing you a very, very simple Kanban board, right? Now, tell me whether you're talking about project level or a product level or a release level or a sprint level, the work will be going through these stages. There will be to-dos, and the work will be in progress, then completed. These three stages will be there in any workflow or not. Will these three stages be there in all the workflows or not?
Yeah.
See, we have some items to be done, to-dos, right? Now, if you're talking about project level or a product level, these to-dos items can be product backlog. Yes or no? If you're talking uh, about if you're talking about sprint level or iteration level, these to-dos items can be sprint backlog. Then we have in progress, then we have completed item, right? Now tell me if I depict these stages, right? If I depict what all items, like, in this case, amend order, item details, archive order, order refund, they're still at a to-do level, right? And some items like create order, search, stock update, process order, they are at in progress level. And some items are completed like DB schema and login. Tell me, if I depict items like this, what is the benefit? Does it give me, you know, a visual understanding of how much work I have completed, how much is under progress, and how much is something which I have not even started working on? Does it give me a visual understanding of the whole work that I have? Tell me, guys. Nitin, will you be able to understand something from this kind of if this kind of a chart is pasted on a whiteboard, right? Will you get some understanding about the status of work?
Yeah,
Yes or no?
correct, Pankaj. Yeah, yeah,
Right?
correct.
So this is the basic benefit of a Kanban board, right? It helps you to visualize the workflow, right? This is the most important principle. Visualize the workflow, right? Now, Kanban board does not only help you to visualize the workflow, it also help you to manage the flow from to-dos to in progress to done, right? Now, before we talk about how does it help you to manage the flow by limiting the work in progress, let's see more refined Kanban board, right? Now, can you see this Kanban board, which is there in front of you? Can you see this Kanban board? Now,
Yes.
Yes,
now,
Pankaj.
now, if you
Yeah,
look at
Pankaj. Yeah.
this, if you look at this, you know, if I capture from this point to this point, is it all in progress? Is it all in progress stage? That was, this is to do's, this is in progress, the middle one, and then this release ready is completed, right? So what I have done in this Kanban board, I have further divided in progress into this different stages, right? Analysis, right? Development, right? And testing. Is that okay or not? Tell me, guys. Now tell me, if I do like this, will it give me a better visualization? Now I know, how many items are not only to-dos in progress and complete. I also know, how many items are right now under in progress. Sorry, analysis. How many items are under development, and for how many the testing is going on. So does it give me a better status or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So this is now one aspect is visualization, right? Now, different stages can be represented by these boundaries. Right? These boundaries represent different stages of the workflow or Kanban board, right? Now, there is another important concept in Kanban which help you to visualize a different categories of work, which is called as swim lanes. Swim lanes. Have you heard of this term, swim lanes? Now,
No.
No, first time.
no worries. To make it more clear, right? To make your work more transparent and visually more clear, what I can do is, what we do is we further divide the work horizontally, right? Like this. Can you see this horizontal line? Can you see the different horizontal lines? This line, and this line. Now,
Yes.
the first horizontal line, this part, it represents only change request, right? This one this represent maintenance work, and the last one represent production defects. So different type, swim lanes are used to categorize. Even these are horizontal lines which are used to categorize different type of work. Is that okay, guys? Are you getting the concept of swim lanes? देखो, प्रोजेक्ट के बीच में चेंज रिक्वेस्ट भी आती हैं आपकी बहुत बारी. You have to do different types of work, change request or maintenance, and you have to fix bugs also. Now, if you categorize them like this in Kanban, will it be helpful or not? Right? For example, right? If I talk about development stage, in progress, how many change requests are there in development currently? Are there two change requests or not?
Yes.
Are there any maintenance tasks?
No.
But
No.
are there some production defects?
Yes. One.
Yes.
Right, one. So it gives you a better understanding, right? For example, in the testing stage, right? Again, there is one change request and another production defect which is getting tested, right? So many times to show different categories, different type of work, you use the concept of swim lanes, right? For example, in this, a swim lane represent different categories of work such as change request, maintenance, and production defect. Is that okay? Now, I have shown you one way to categorize. See, swim lanes can be done in different ways also. Can I show you another swim lane? Right? This is one way to depict swim lanes, right? Another way to depict is like this. You can see this Kanban board. Look at this Kanban board. Now, in this case, right, we have almost same stages of workflow. But if you see horizontal swim lanes, can you see standard, fixed date, and expedite? Ritesh, can you see these three swim lanes? Standard, fixed date, and
Yes,
expedite.
Yes,
So, expedite means those tasks will fall under this horizontal zone, which we have to accelerate or do faster, which are high priority ones. In the second, which is fixed date means, those tasks which have to be completed on fixed date, right? Standard day-to-day tasks, right? Or general tasks, right? Which are not fitting in the category of fixed date or expedite, right? So, basic purpose of swim lanes is to show different categories of tasks, right? So swim lane can be like this also. A swim lane can be like change request, maintenance, or production defect also, right? So it all depends on your nature of project. Based on that, you can depict the swim lane. Now, this was the basic. So, the basic is a Kanban board is used to visualize, right? Visualize the workflow, right? Now, tell me, does it help you to visualize the workflow or not?
It is.
It is, right?
Yes.
Now second, see again, but having said this, Kanban, this is not the only purpose of Kanban. See, this kind of visualization can be done in any task board also, right? So what is a Kanban board? Now, Kanban board helps you to manage the flow from left to right. Now tell me, if you manage the flow, right, from left to right better, if you manage this flow from input queue till completion, will it help you to increase the efficiency or throughput or not? The faster the items move from input queue to completion, right? More efficient the system is. Yes or no? Will the system be more efficient if the items go faster from this point to this point?
Yes.
But tell me, is it so easy? There can be bottlenecks at different stages or not? Can there be bottlenecks? Right? There can be bottlenecks, right? So how does Kanban board help you to manage this flow, right? Now, first of all, a Kanban board is based on pull system, not push system. A Kanban board, the most important thing, right, in Kanban board is it is based on pull system, right? Now, what is pull system? The successor stage pulls from the preceding stage based on the availability. The successor stage will pull from the preceding stage based on the available capacity, right? Now, how do we define capacity, right? See, there are different stages here: input queue, analysis, right? Development, testing. Now, all of these stages have different capacities, right? Now, capacities are usually defined in the form of work in progress limit, WIP limits, right? Another concept you will see here is WIP limits, work in progress limits or WIP limits, right? Now, can you see these numbers at the top of stages 5, 4, 3, 4, 2, 2? These are WIP limits, work in progress limits, right? Which means, analysis can pull maximum items from input queue, right? And, 4 can be the maximum items that analysis can pull from input queue, right? 4 can be the maximum items development can pull from development ready, right? 2 can be the maximum items, right? The test can pull from build ready. For example, in this situation, how many items what is the work in progress limit of analysis, guys? What is the work in progress limit of analysis?
4.
4. And how many items are there in analysis right now?
I think 2.
3. So
2.
how many items can it pull from the predecessor?
1 more.
Only one.
One only.
Only one more, right? Not beyond that, right? Now, and it will work and it will go here, right? For example, if I talk about development, can you see development here? What is the work in progress limit?
4.
4. Now, can development pull any items from the predecessor?
2 more. 2 more.
No.
Hmm?
How many items are there in development? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it cannot pick any other item.
It cannot pick any other, right?
Actually,
Similarly,
That stage,
all the
yeah,
swim
stage
lanes.
is different, huh?
no, swim lanes, see, work in progress limit is for the whole thing.
Yes, so irrespective of the swim lanes, he will see as a whole how many
see
total
yes.
as a WIP is there.
Yes, you will see as a whole, yes. Right.
Okay.
But
So
that stage is different, Pankaj. That production different.
say that again. No, that stage is not. See, this is production defect. This is a category of work. That's it. Right? So, in development, the total amount of work, whether change request or maintenance or production, right? The
So in
total amount
progress,
of work.
it is three only, na? Three.
No, but this is they're done. Four. Total is four. 1, 2, 3. Can you see 4 cards here?
The card is four, but I mean, out of this four, one is already done. Na?
But see, you can do this also. Then you would have specified a different limit for in progress and done. But since the total limit including done is 4, you can't pull. Right?
I'm not getting Pankaj.
No. See, obviously you see, now after this, what will happen? In build ready, how many items are there?
One only.
No. And the WIP limit?
Two.
2. So can it pull this done from here?
Yes.
When this done will move here, what will happen? This development will pull another item from the predecessor.
Yeah, right.
So, it will happen. See, this is not a one time. This is a regular activity to update the Kanban board.
Mm-hmm.
Kanban board will be continuously updated. Yes or no?
Yeah, got it.
Right? Now, you have to remember one thing. In order to manage the flow, right? In order to manage the flow effectively from left to right, the Kanban board used the concept of pull system and WIP limits, work in progress limit, right? Every stage in the Kanban board has a work in progress limit, right? Now, whenever the successor stage has capacity available, it will pull from the preceding stage. Is that okay? Is that okay, guys?
Yeah, Pankaj.
Right. Now tell me, in the Kanban board, right, how can you identify which stage is working slow? Any stage, see, if a stage is very close to WIP or is equal to WIP limit, is it working slow as compared to the stage which is very far away from WIP? WIP limit, sorry. Yes or no?
But Pankaj, I mean, in case if the next column is not pulling the item from the previous column, right?
Mhm.
That can also be a challenge, right? For example, like dev ready, we
Absolutely,
have three
absolutely,
items.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So if your successor is completely full, it will impact your speed also.
So how do we find out like where the root cause is for
So,
the
so
problem?
how see you can see again, if you're updating your Kanban board on regular basis, will you be able to find out or not?
I mean, even if it is on updated on regular basis, if the successor is full, right, they are not going to clean the previous column, right, because they are full.
So who will become full first, successor or predecessor?
Successor, obviously.
Right? So predecessor, let's say, let's take a Kanban board, suppose. Suppose this is a Kanban board, right? Now let's put that WIP limits to 3. Right? Now, in this case, suppose I have number of items, right? 1. Let's suppose this is to dos, right? And I'm putting the Is that okay? These numbers are suppose WIP limits, right? Now tell me, in this case, which is the bottleneck process? This is 1, right? This is 3, still stuck. After some time, it has done 2nd also, still stuck. It has done 3rd also, still stuck. Now tell me, in this flow, if 3 is not moving forward, is 3 the bottleneck process or not, which is close to WIP?
Yeah, it is the bottleneck.
Right? And you can easily find out.
Yeah, but this is the bottleneck until we see a predecessor full, right? Now let's say if there are 5 tasks in the
No, even if predecessors, if first it is, we are seeing here, see what you can do is you can, predecessor, in the predecessor column, you can put another column, ready for the next stage, right? Development ready, let's say, right? Or done, right? In the predecessor stage, let's say there is an in progress and done. Suppose in predecessor, everything is done, but it is still stuck at this. That means it is a bottleneck process or not?
okay.
Yes or no?
It can be, I mean, not certainly, but it can be, yes.
How can
Now, why I'm saying not certainly is because maybe the next, column to that, they are probably, still working on the previous items, right? And this column 3, they may have some items which are done, but not being picked by the next category, right? So they'll still
that's
be
okay.
considered as
Then it is
bottleneck.
see if for long the items are in progress, right? And the preceding and succeeding stage both have most of the items under done, right? That means this is the bottleneck, right?
Yeah. So we definitely have to have the done column in all the items, right?
Yeah.
So
Now tell me,
the picture below that you are showing.
Anyways, in this case, if I have to find out, right, based on the guys, tell me, based on the WIP limit, which stage is working at the slowest pace in this Kanban board that we have created? In this Kanban board, which stage is working at the slowest pace? Obviously, which is close to WIP? Yes or no?
I mean, it is clear right now because we have only one column full at limit, right? But what if we have like five items in first column? Then it would be difficult for us to find out, right, from this picture.
But if all these 5 items are done, and
that's what I'm saying. We need to make sure that we are showing like the done column
properly. We have to show, wherever we see that, we should show some holding area also, like done within analysis, in progress and done, so that we can find out the bottleneck process.
Yeah, in the same image, where you're highlighting right now, not this one, the one which is already there on the sheet, the test column doesn't have done, right? But it is at its peak, right? 2 items are there. It doesn't show whether these are done or these are still in progress, right? So we cannot find out whether this is like the bottleneck for us.
When the testing is done, it moves to release ready, right?
So we cannot find out whether this is done or not, right?
Yeah. Testing is in progress, right? This is what it shows.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Having done will give us a clear picture, basically visualization.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So again, this Kanban board can help you to identify, help you to manage the flow, right? It will help you to set the right work in progress limit, right? Based on the flow. Now, see the traffic system. We have you seen the traffic system that we have, the traffic signal? Does it work like Kanban or not? The road traffic signal system. Does it work like a Kanban board or not?
Partially, yes.
Right? It works like a Kanban board only.
Yeah. I mean,
right?
You mean that release or handhold? Huh?
See,
Correct.
now see, tell me, how does a traffic signal work? If there is no traffic signal, what will happen?
Chaos.
See, many broad
Collision.
roads are followed by narrow lanes, right? So the choking of traffic will happen at the narrow lane or not?
Yeah.
So see, the traffic signal help you to regulate the traffic in same way as Kanban board. Are you getting my point or not?
Yes.
Is that okay? Now, there are some important concepts that we'll discuss, right? Like cycle time, right? And the throughput. Now, this time is called as cycle time, right? The average amount of time that an item takes from when it is moved into in progress to completion, this is called as cycle time. So are you understanding what is cycle time? Now, if I have to draw cycle time in this case, will this time be a cycle time or not?
Yes, Pankaj.
Right? This time will be a cycle time. Right? This is cycle time, right? Similarly, if I talk about this chart, what is the cycle time here? Is this a cycle time or not? From this point to the completion, will it be cycle time? Is it cycle time or not?
Yeah.
The time
Yes.
from in progress to completion. Now, how can you measure cycle time? You can measure some, multiple items as they move from, you can note down the time of multiple items as they move from here to here, and you can take the average time. Can you take the average time? Yes or no? Can you note down the average time? Yes or no?
Average time for multiple items to find out?
Every item. Take it for every item, then take average of it.
Average cycle time, basically.
Right? Because cycle time is always average, because as items move from here to end, they will not have same cycle time. But yes, you can measure an average cycle time for a WIP. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
Right. So, there is a law called as Little's law, right? There is a Little's law, right? Which can be represented like this, right? Let me discuss. Little's law can be discussed like this, right? Now, I'm writing the formula for Little's law. This is called as Little's law. I'll show you a graphical depiction also. Little's law. Which states that throughput is equal to WIP by right. Throughput is equal to WIP by cycle time. Now, what do you understand from this formula? Throughput is equal to WIP by cycle time. What do you understand by this? Now, can I help you to derive this formula? Can I help you to derive this formula? Now,
Yeah.
see, the formula is more like
I'm
this.
not getting this Little's law.
देखो, cycle time का मतलब है WIP बनने में कितना टाइम लगता है. Cycle time में क्या होता है? See, in cycle time, you complete the WIP. In average cycle time, suppose 4 is the WIP, 4 items will on average 4 items will get complete in cycle time, right? So in cycle time, you will complete WIP. Now that means in unit time, in unit time, how much you will complete? Will you complete WIP by cycle time amount of work or not? Yes or no? Will you complete this much amount of work or not? And this is called as efficiency or throughput. This is throughput. Is equal to WIP by cycle time. Is that okay? Is that okay? Or can I explain you through a very simple example? Can I explain the same through a very simple example?
Yeah, sure.
Right? Now, let me show you some one very simple example on this, so that you understand the concept of cycle time better. Now look at this. Suppose a software development team, can you see this example? Suppose a software development team has an average throughput of 2 user stories per week. And on average, they work on 4 user stories during a week. What is the average cycle time? Now see, if I say on average, they are working on 4 stories during a week, is 4 stories a work in progress? Is it WIP or not?
Yes.
Right? So, and what is the throughput? Throughput is the amount of work you do in unit time. 2 user stories per week. Right? That is throughput. So the cycle time will be what? 4 by 2 again. Will it be 2 weeks or not? Will 2 weeks be the cycle time or not? Will 2 weeks be the cycle time or not?
Yes.
Tell me, guys.
Yes.
Yes, yes. 4 by.
देखो, simple सा तरीका है. I'm just taking simple example. यहाँ पे in progress में कितने items हैं?
4.
4 items हैं. हम क्या देख लेंगे कि इन 4 items को complete करने में कितना टाइम लगता है, हम मेजर कर सकते हैं उसे. इन 4 items को complete करने में on average कितना टाइम लगता है? Can we measure that? Can we measure that or not? You can measure it simply using a watch, right? जब Kanban अपडेट करोगे बोर्ड, तो ये यहाँ से यहाँ जाएंगे. सब क्रिएट ऑर्डर को यहाँ से यहाँ जाने में कितना टाइम लगा, नोट कर सकते हो आप. स्टॉक सर्च को यहाँ से यहाँ जाने में कितना टाइम लगा, वो भी कर सकते हो. स्टॉक अपडेट को कितना लगा, वो भी कर सकते हो. प्रोसेस ऑर्डर को भी कर सकते हो. इसकी एवरेज ले सकते हो. कैन यू टेक द एवरेज ऑफ दिस? Suppose, for create order to move from in progress to done, it takes 8 hours. It takes 8 hours for create orders to move from in progress to done. It takes stock search. It takes, let's say, 6 hours. Stock update, 12 hours. Process order, yeah, 10 hours, right? But tell me, can you find out these times first of all? Can you note down these points through a watch?
Yes.
Right? Now, what is the average of this?
Total is 36 and 9.
Right? So can I say average cycle time will be will be 36 by 4.
Right.
Is equal to how much? 9 hours. Right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So, you know, what does it mean? On average, in 9 hours, how many WIP items I can move from this place to the end? 4 items? Yes or no? On average, in 9 hours, I have moved 4 items from in progress to done. Can I say this?
Yes.
Which means now in 1 hour, how many items I am going to move? 4 by 9,
9.
right? And in terms of percentage, it should be 4 by 9 into 100, right?
Pankaj, average cycle times means that 9 hours I moved one item, isn't it?
Yeah. No, not one item, right? Average amount of time. Yes, on average, one item will take this much. Yes, you're right.
One item would take 9 hours, right?
So that means, on average, but see, I am working on 4 items simultaneously. I'm maintaining the WIP. So can I say in 9 hours, I can move a WIP of 4 from in progress to done?
But we
Yes
are
or
not working parallel, right? We are saying that each task is taking individual time.
No, different people are working on these different items.
Okay.
Right? Different people are working. So almost, if you see it as a system, in 9 hours, I have, and working with WIP of 4, right? My cycle time is this. But in unit time, can I complete these many items? If in 9 hours I'm able to complete in cycle time is a time which an average amount of which a WIP takes to it's an average amount of time a WIP takes to move from this point to this point. This is cycle time. And throughput is the unit. How much work can be done in unit time? Are you getting my point or not?
Then why we are multiplying by 100?
Now, देखो, अब मैं अब एक simple सा example multiply 100% है ना, throughput ले रहा हूँ वो.
Okay.
Now let me take another simple example. Suppose there is a factory. The factory works on 100 bikes at a point of time, right? 100 bikes, right? And it completes 100 bikes. Suppose a factory completes 100 bikes, right, in 5 days. Now tell me, what is cycle time and what is WIP?
Cycle time should be 5 days.
Uh,
And work in progress is 100 bikes.
Right, 100 bikes, right? And then, what is the throughput? See, in 5 days, working on 100 bikes, right? In 5 days, you are creating 100 bikes, right? Now tell me, in 1 day, how many bikes you will create? In 1 day, 20 bikes?
20.
Right? So amount of work that you do in unit time, what is this? This is your throughput. Right? Are you getting my point or not? Is that okay?
Yes, Pankaj.
Right? See. So is the concept of cycle time okay or not? Charu, are you okay with cycle time? Charu, are you okay with cycle time? Aditya, are you okay with cycle time? Anushri, are you okay with cycle time? No.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ishan, Divya, are you okay with cycle time? Neeraj?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, average amount of time to complete WIP, what is this? A cycle time, right? In cycle time, cycle time is the average amount of time you need to complete a WIP. Is that okay? So whatever you complete in unit time is called as throughput, right? So you have a formula, WIP is equal to cycle time by throughput, right? Now, in some books, you see cycle time and lead time, right? In some books, you see when you browse internet, you will see cycle time and lead time. Now, what is the difference between cycle time and lead time? Tell me. What is the difference between a cycle time and lead time? You have the diagram in front of you.
Lead time is for the entire process. Cycle time is between in progress and done.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, this is a very important concept to be understood. Why? See, when you talk about software development work, right? If you see a lot of examples on Agile from software development. Now, if you browse internet, all the software people, right? When Kanban is used for software development, people have used cycle time and lead time as the same thing. But when you talk about production systems, the meaning of cycle time and lead time is very different for production systems, right? Now, see, lead time is, when you talk about production systems, the flow, inventory, the flow of goods starts with the inventory, right, in your warehouse. So the moment inventory enters your warehouse, right, from that point onwards, you start calculating lead time, right? And, inventory might be on hold in warehouse for some time, then it is moved into in progress for manufacturing. So there's a difference between cycle time and lead time, right? Now, but in software world or in IT world, cycle time and lead time is used interchangeably. Why? Because you start cycle time from the point. So you talk about lead time from the point when the item is ready, as per DOR. Now tell me, when the item is ready, or when the item is as per definition of ready, will there be any, you are counting this ready to start from definition of ready, right? And definition of ready happens when the item is about to enter into the sprint. Yes or no? Definition of ready will happen what? When suppose you are using Kanban at a sprint level. So definition of ready will happen only just before sprint planning. So in the case of IT or software, this lead time and cycle times are used interchangeably. If you see internet, IT IT will use, they will also, they might, in some places you might find this formula, right? For example, in scaled agile, they use formula, they use the word lead time for the formula, not cycle time. So is that okay? Why cycle time and lead time, in the context of software world is used, synonymously together? Are you getting my point or not? Is that okay, guys? Nitin, are you following? Vishal, are you getting my point or not?
Yes, Pankaj.
Right? Ishan, are you okay? Why cycle time and lead time can be considered same?
Yes, sir.
Now, some important concepts, right, related to Kanban. Now, work item age, right? Now, what are work item? All the cards at a particular stage in the Kanban. The amount of elapsed time between when a work item started and the current time is called as work item age. Now, can anyone explain me the meaning of this work item age? Can anyone explain me the
So since the beginning of, I mean, since the item was in
suppose an item is moved into work in progress, right? Now, till the time it is not assigned to anybody, till the time nobody is working on it, right? Can I call it as a work item age?
but current time can be of at any stage, Pankaj, right?
Right. And see, when the work item started and the current time, see, the amount of elapsed time between when the work item started and the current time,
Yeah.
right? It actually means this, right? Suppose an item is at this stage. Let's see this one. Now, suppose an item enters into work in progress, right? On, let's say, day 1. But let's say the current date is day 3. What will be the age of this item?
3 days.
3 days, right?
Yeah, 2 days
right.
or 3 days, whatever.
Right. So suppose this item enters the Kanban board on first day and today's date is 7. What is the age of this item?
In that case, it would be 7, but I think this work item age should be a variable because it should, as it moves into this cycle further, whether it goes to development, build ready or test, that age should change according to that.
How come?
So for example, this item came into in progress on day 1, right? But on day 10th, it is in development done.
No, but why not? Why not to have, you can have a consolidated age also. You can have an age at particular stage also.
But here we are not
because higher the age. See, because higher the age, does it indicate something? Higher the age, if the age is more than the plan, does it indicate that it will lead to delay?
Correct. Yes.
So why not to estimate age at every stage also and the total age also as it is in WIP?
Yeah, I mean, that can also be done, but since in the sheet it was mentioned only one work item age, so I was thinking that it should be a variable.
So the amount of elapsed time between when a work item started and the current time is a work item age, right? Now, what is a cycle time? Cycle time we have seen the amount of elapsed time between when a work item starts and when the work item finishes. This is what? A cycle time. We have seen this, right? And throughput is the number of work items finished per unit time. And apart from this, there is another matrix, which is a parameter, right? Which is called as service level expectations, right? Now, tell me, when any item moves into work in progress, we have some high level aspiration or expectation, right? By when it will be completed. So this is not a commitment. This is just our confidence level. We'll say tentatively it will be completed in 3 days or 8 hours or 5 hours. This is called as service level expectation. So is it clear what is service level expectation? Guys, what is service level expectation? Neeraj, can you, or Ishan, are you getting what is service level expectation?
Not exactly, sir.
See, an item enters here. See, an item enters, suppose, an item enters here, right? From queue to the work in progress, right? So do you have some high level idea or expectation that this should be done in 3 days or 4 days? This should move from this point to completion in 3 days, 4 days, or 5 days. Do we have some expectation?
Yes, a first level estimation.
Or
Correct.
rough idea?
Yes.
So this is called a service level expectation. Now, service level expectation, since it's a rough idea, you never commit on this, right?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Right.
Now, so is service level expectation clear? Ritesh, are you okay with service level expectation?
Yes, Pankaj.
Right? It's just an idea, right? Now,
Yes, as you said, it's a confidence of the the person actually that how much time it will take to complete,
or the team, yeah.
or the team, right?
Now, second, but can we commit on basis of service level expectation?
No.
No, we can't commit, right? It's just an idea. Now, the actual time this item will take to move from this point to the completion, what is that called as?
Cycle time.
Cycle time.
This is cycle time, right? Is that okay? Right. Now, generally, see, since cycle time will be different for every item, right? For this item. So what we do, we take average cycle time for the WIP. We'll say, okay, in order to move, these 4 items, right? If you're maintaining 4 as a WIP, in order to move these 4 items, it takes, right, on average this time. So generally, when we actually use the formula of cycle time in Litter's law, we use average cycle time and the WIP, right? So in average cycle time, we are able to complete WIP. So in unit time, we'll complete WIP by cycle time. Is that okay? Is that okay, guys?
Yes.
Now, see, now how Kanban is used in Agile. This is something very, very important. Now, tell me, if I use Kanban with Scrum, does it augment Scrum? Can I use Kanban with Scrum? If I use Kanban and Scrum together, will it improve? Will it further augment or improve Scrum by bringing in more transparency? This is iteration-based Agile, right? See, I'm talking about iteration-based Agile. If I use Kanban along with Scrum, will it further augment Scrum or not? Anushri, if I use Kanban along with Scrum, will it improve Scrum further by bringing in more transparency,
Yes.
by adding the concept of flow?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, when it boils down to new product development, it is very good, right? When it boils down to new product development or some new project, right? This works very well. This is called as iteration-based, right? Agile, or it is also called as Scrumban. This is also called, when you use Scrum and Kanban together, it is also called as Scrumban. But now, some organization may not be doing new product development. There are organizations that do some small projects, very, very small projects, some big projects, right? They will have change request of varying size coming in. Tell me, if the change, if you have to apply Kanban in a situation when you get very irregular type of work, sometimes a 2-month change request, sometimes a 15-day change request, right? They are all treated as project, and sometimes a 1.5-month change request. In this case, should I use iteration-based Agile, or should I use only Kanban? Now see, when I use only Kanban without any iteration, this is called as flow-based Agile. Can you see flow-based Agile? When I only use Kanban without any sprints, this is called as iteration-based Agile. Now tell me, can I run Agile without sprints like this? I pull small amount of work from product backlog, deliver it. I pull another small amount of work, deliver it. Can I use Agile like this also without any sprints?
Yes.
Right? Now, this is called as flow-based Agile. Now, again, I will pull small amount of work. It will be planned. There will be daily stand-ups also. There will be review and retrospection also, but no fixed size sprints. When I, see, if anybody is there from Ericsson, has challenges in using Scrum because they have this kind of work coming in continuously, right? Irregular size of change request or projects. So they moved from, Scrum to Kanban, flow-based agile. And now everything is very highly streamlined. Now in flow-based agile, you follow simple Kanban structure, simple Kanban. You pick small amount of work, right? Let it go through, plan it, right? Execute it, do daily stand-ups, right? During execution, have a review, have a retrospection, deliver it. Take another small amount of work, deliver it. Now, when you follow this is flow-based agile. And as you note from here, right? The number of features in the WIP limit, you can pick those number of features, but you might notice that these are not fixed size. These all the cycles that you will use here in flow-based agile, they're unequal, right? So Kanban can be used as an agile standalone also. Kanban can be used, right? Again, Lean will be always combined with Kanban, right? So Kanban can be used as a standalone also, and Kanban can be used with Scrum also, right? So when you use Kanban and Scrum together, this is actually iteration-based agile, right? And this only Kanban is flow-based agile. Now, is the difference between iteration-based agile and flow-based agile clear to all of you? Guys, is the difference between iteration-based agile and flow-based agile clear to all of you? Is it clear?
I have one small question here.
Yeah.
So when we are saying that we can use Kanban and Scrum together, so they have some qualities which are contradictory to each other, right? For example, like Scrum is a push based has push
No.
based mechanism, right?
No, so nobody says Scrum is push.
No,
Nobody says
but in
Scrum is
Scrum
not
we
push.
don't pull generally, right? We push
No,
on.
but again, see, if we add, see again, if we add pull, it's okay. It's an additional thing which is, see, nothing changed. See, whatever, see, when we use Scrum bar, right? When we use Scrum bar, nothing changes to the Scrum. Only thing that happen is, Scrum is augmented by adding some concepts of Kanban.
Okay.
Will not change Scrum at all. Scrum will remain like Scrum.
Correct. Yeah, because
Right.
Scrum is like a time box activity, right? And Kanban has like
Those time box will have everything like that. So
I want to understand the process, how first Kanban happened and then the Scrum process.
see,
I think
when
it
we
should go
use
hand
Scrum
in
and
hand rather
Kanban
than going
together,
one after another.
see, Scrum will be every process of Scrum will be retained. Only thing is the Kanban will be added. For example, as I move from sprint planning to retrospective, you can divide work into various stages. Right? That is the only thing you are adding, and you're adding the pull system concept of Kanban, and you are making all the work done very more transparent by having Kanban boards. That way you can have Scrum and Kanban together.
Like from the product backlog, we started moving things from in progress thing. That's how it goes like.
See, there can be multiple levels of Kanban. There can be a Kanban at a sprint level. There can be a Kanban at product backlog level. Now, in case of product backlog level Kanban, it will be simple. Product backlog is to do, then in progress, then done. That's it.
Yes.
But the sprint level Kanban can be divided into multiple stages.
The one which you were showing before.
Yeah, the one that I showed before was more like a sprint level Kanban, right? Whereas, if I talk about, a product backlog level Kanban, see, let me show you. If I simply talk about this is more like a product backlog level Kanban, right?
Yes, this I can imagine.
Right? This is product backlog, right? In progress, and within this in progress, we have sprints, right? Now, this is actually a sprint level Kanban. This can be taken as a sprint backlog, and then you are showing various stages here. Is that okay? Is it fine, Charu?
He's just trying to accept the whole thing. Give me 2 minutes, please.
नहीं देखो so. Now try to understand. See this. What a product backlog can always be depicted like this.
Correct.
Right? Obviously, some items are in progress, some are done, right? This is a very top level, right? This is a product backlog. These are items in progress. Can you depict like this?
Yes.
Now, in fact, this will be a question that will come also. This Kanban is a broad level. The entire Scrum team is responsible for managing this level of Kanban, right? Now, whereas if you talk about this level of Kanban, which is a sprint level Kanban, development team has full autonomy to define the stages. Right? Now, tell me, within a sprint, will there be a sprint backlog? Sprint backlog is like a sprint plan. Can I consider input queue as a sprint backlog?
Correct.
Right? Then, obviously, next day or, gradually the items will be pulled, right? And every item will go through some level of analysis, development, right? And testing. Yes or no?
Correct.
This will happen inside the sprint. But if this flow is depicted very transparently on a whiteboard, will it not add additional transparency to Scrum? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Right? This is now the whole Kanban board can be represented in the form of a burn-up chart also. Can we see how the whole thing can be represented in the form of a burn-up chart? First of all, before I move forward, before I show you the whole flow in the form of a progress chart, right? Yeah, guys, see from the perspective of the exam, you may not be required to go inside depth of little slow though, right? But at least you should understand, if you have a Kanban board, you can visualize any kind of a workflow, right? It's based on pull system. You can manage any kind of workflow, right? And secondly, you should understand the difference between a iteration-based agile and flow-based agile. So are you able to understand the difference between a iteration-based agile and flow-based agile? When we only follow Scrum, or if we follow Scrum and Kanban, that is what? A sprint-based or iteration-based agile, right? Guys, Ishan, are you okay with this?
Yes.
Right? Ashutosh, are you okay with this? Ritesh, are you okay with this?
Yes, Pankaj.
Right? So this is iteration-based. Now, if I use only Kanban, right? No sprints, only Kanban, I'll pull some small amount of work, right? From the to-dos, right? Let it go through various stages of Kanban, right? And let it go through, planning, daily stand-ups, then sprint review and then review and retrospective, but I'll not call it a sprint because, it will be not iteration-based agile. So see, I'll pick small amount of work from the backlog, right? People will start working on it. Then we'll do daily stand-up the way we do, right? We'll do review at the end when everything is done. We'll do retrospective, deliver, and then pick another amount of work, another set of work from Kanban board. Now, I am following, I am delivering incrementally in very small increments, right? But, I am not following a fixed size iteration here like this. This is called as flow-based agile, right? This is a flow-based agile. So is the difference between iteration-based agile and flow-based agile clear, guys? Is the difference clear between flow-based and iteration-based agile? Yeah. Are you all okay? Please say yes. Divya, are you okay with iteration-based agile and flow-based agile? Isha, are you okay?
Not much clear, Pankaj, to me.
Dekho, Nitin, if you have some small amount of work, some amount of work in a backlog, you understand product backlog?
Yeah, correct.
Now, in that product backlog, you pick small items and deliver them, right? You pick another set of small items and deliver them. Now, and the size of these items may be different. Can I call it as flow-based agile?
Okay.
This is flow-based agile. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Now, how it is different from a iteration-based agile? Now, we have seen Scrum. In Scrum, every iteration is 2 weeks or less than a month, 4 weeks. So in Scrum, we were going sprint by sprint. So those sprints are absent here. No sprints are there. Are you following?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So, Isha, are you okay with the difference between iteration-based agile and flow-based agile?
Yes, Pankaj.
Perfect. Now, can I show you the representation of Kanban board, right, on a graph? We can use burn-up charts, which are, when the burn-up chart depicts different stages of a Kanban board, it is called as, right, it is called as a cumulative flow diagram. A very simple burn-up chart is like this, right? This is also a representation of a Kanban board, right? Now, let me show you some more complex ones.
Pankaj, can we take a break for 10
Yeah,
minutes?
after Kanban, we can take a break, right?
Okay.
After this, graphs. Now, guys, can I represent the whole flow that we saw in Kanban in the form of a graph like this? It's nothing but a burn-up chart, right? You saw burn-up chart in the last class also, and these, last week also. And, this is a burn-up chart representing various stages of a Kanban board. Now, first of all, just recall the burn-up chart that you saw last week, and this, how it is different from this, right? This is a cumulative flow diagram. Now, I'll show you another picture, right? That will make things more easier for you. Same. Now, does it make things more easier for you? So guys, are you able to interpret this graph or not? Can we discuss, or can we take a small 10 minutes break, then we'll discuss? I think you're tired. Can we take a short 10 minutes break?
Yeah, Pankaj.
Yeah.
Let's take a 10 minutes break, then we'll discuss, right? I'll explain you this
Yeah.
whole.
Okay.
Sure.
Right. Just a second, guys. What does this, on this particular time, what does it represent? This point. Tell me, guys, what does this point represent? The work
Work in
completed or
progress.
work completed?
Okay,
This line
from
is
there. Okay, from there. Okay.
from bottom
From
till this point. Is it work completed or not?
yeah, correct.
So how much is the work completed? Is it almost 100 points or slightly more than that? Tell me. What is the work completed?
100.
If I draw a horizontal line
Yeah,
here,
somewhat more.
or can I say 140? Right? So can I say work completed is around 140?
Yes.
Right? And how much is the work in progress? How much is the work in progress?
60.
60.
Right? So if this is 140, this this point, does it represent work in progress or not? This point, the distance between these 2 points, does it represent work in progress or not?
Yes.
Right? Sorry. Now, if I take distance between these 2 points, is it a work in progress or not?
Yes. Pankaj.
Yes.
Right? This is work in progress, right?
Right.
And how much is the difference roughly? How much is the difference, right? Roughly, if I say 140, or this might be 220, right? So can I say around 80 is work in progress is around 80? Can I say WIP is around 80?
Yeah, Pankaj.
Right? Now, if this distance is WIP, this is the total amount of work. Now to complete this, if I draw a horizontal line like this, if I draw a horizontal line like this, which intersects on this curve, right? Now tell me, is this time? Is this the cycle time or not? Because this time is required to complete this amount of WIP. Is it a cycle time or not?
Yeah.
Right? You can look at this graph actually. You can look at this graph, this one. Right? It's a representation of what I did. Now this is a WIP or Q duration, sorry, Q length, and this is Q duration, right? This is the amount of time it will take to complete this much WIP, P, right? Now, can I say throughput is equal to P by A as per Little's law? Can I say throughput is equal to cycle time? Sorry, throughput is equal to WIP by cycle time. Now, what is WIP? B, and cycle time is A. Can I say this? Can I say this, guys? In this, based on this diagram, can I say cycle time, sorry, throughput is equal to B by A. Now, B is nothing but a WIP and A is nothing but a cycle time. Is that okay? Is that okay, guys? Are you okay with this,
Yes.
Ritesh?
Yeah, Pankaj.
Now, Now, this is another community flow diagram. Now, this is a community flow diagram that depicts multiple stages of a Kanban board. This community flow diagram depicts multiple stages of a Kanban board. Is that okay? Right. These stages can be, like analysis, DB proc, code. Because see, you have seen, a Kanban board that was very simple, which has to-dos, work in progress, and completion. You also saw a Kanban board which depicts all the different stages, right? So this is a cumulative flow diagram for a Kanban board that has different stages, right? Now, if we draw, these are burn up that shows progress of different stages, right? Now, the beauty of this cumulative flow diagram is it can help you to identify the bottleneck activity. Now, which activity is a bottleneck activity? The activity which has a narrow band like this, right? Any activity which will move with a slow progress will have a narrow band like this. An activity with a narrow band like this is a bottleneck activity. Is that okay? It is going at a slower pace as compared to other activities. So, we have to fix it. If we have to improvise the flow in Kanban, if we have to increase the throughput of the whole Kanban board, we have to fix this activity. Is that okay? Is that fine? Are you okay with this, guys? So is the basic concept of community flow diagram clear or not? Is the basic concept clear or not? Are you okay with the Kanban, the basic concept of Kanban and community flow diagram? Right? Any questions on community flow diagram? Now, can we do one thing? In order to understand the whole concept better, can we do some questions? Can we do some practice questions, guys?
Yes, please.
Right? So let's do some practice questions on Kanban. Guys, is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes.
Now,
Yeah,
can we
ma'am.
start with
Yes.
assessment? We are starting with the assessment, guys. This is Scrum and Kanban together. Now, what should be the answer of the first one? A service level expectation, SLE, target reflects the Scrum team's aspiration towards a reliable cycle time. Is it true or false?
True.
True, right? It was an expectation only, so true. So we are agreeing to true, right? When using Scrum and Kanban, you can release multiple times during a sprint. True. True. Right? You can release multiple times during a sprint also. This is called as continuous delivery lean. Now, answer carefully. This is a good question. Scrum events, Scrum team accountabilities, and Scrum artifacts are augmented when using Scrum with Kanban. For example, having a clear indicator of age of active sprint backlog item may help Scrum team during a daily Scrum, helping them to better inspect and adapt their daily work, right?
True.
True, right? Absolutely true. The main role of WIP aging is to help identify bottleneck where work may be impeded or constrained.
True.
Main role of WIP aging is to identify
True.
Should it be true or false? See, again, you have, see, this is, is it the main role of WIP aging? So should it be true or false? Tell me, it should be true or false? Now, see, WIP aging is an indicator that delay may happen, right? But will age be help you to find out the root cause? Tell
No.
me, no, right? See, definitely aging is an indicator that delay will happen, right? I'm 100% sure. But will they help you to find out the root cause? Tell me, guys, you can revisit your answer. Tell me, you can revisit your answer.
Multiple, I think, options, multiple ways that it can be delayed to find the bottlenecks, I think. But I think it's false.
False, right? Because, this is helpful. Definitely, it's see, obviously, but you have to do a root cause, right? Now, Kanban can be used to help improve the flow of sprint. Do we agree to this or not? Do we agree? So, first line, do we agree to the first line, guys? Tell me yes or no.
Yes.
Yes.
Helps, right?
Yes, Pankaj.
Now, then second line. It can also help, it can also be used to help improve the flow work in or out of sprint. Yes. At a product level, at a product backlog level also, it can improve the flow. Yes or no?
Yes.
It can, as we discussed, I showed you Kanban at a product backlog level also, and I showed you Kanban at a sprint level also, right? In both cases, it will improve the flow. Now, the question is, regardless, the Kanban definition of workflow is owned by developers. Now, tell me, at a sprint level, definitely yes, Kanban definition will be owned by developers. But at a product backlog, will it be owned by the entire Scrum team or the developers?
Scrum team.
Scrum team. So shall I say false? Right? Reducing the WIP limit will always result in decreased productivity. Tell me yes or no.
Pankaj, sorry, I missed out last question. Is it true or false? Like the last point, developers.
False. देखो,
False.
जब हम, Aditya, when we'll use Kanban within sprint, right? Everything will be owned by whom? Developers.
Developers.
But when we use Kanban outside the sprint at product backlog level, then workflow definition is not owned by developers. Then it's a Scrum team, right?
Right.
But Pankaj, this question doesn't mention whether it is inside a sprint or outside sprint.
No, mention. See, it can also be used to help improve the flow of work in and out of sprint. Out of the sprint means at a product backlog level. Within sprint, absolutely yes. But out of sprint is product backlog level, right? Then he says, regardless, the Kanban definition of workflow is owned by the developers. No. Only at sprint level workflow, Kanban. Is that okay, Vishal?
Yes.
Now, reducing the WIP limits will always result in decreased productivity. देखो, WIP limits को reduce करेंगे तो क्या होगा? Flow better होगा कि नहीं होगा? देखो, see, work in progress limits बहुत ज़्यादा होंगी तो क्या नुकसान है? Let's talk about it. If work in progress limit is too much, very high, we will be working on multiple items. Too many items or not? If work in progress limit is very high, we can pull a lot of items from the predecessor. Will we be working on multiple items? Will there be distraction? Will there be task switching also or not? And all of these things will decrease productivity. Will it happen or not?
Yes, yes.
See, if instead of focusing on 3 items, if you're working on 8 items, right? Tell me, it might be possible that, you might be switching from one task to another, and it might be possible that you might not be focused, right? You will get distracted. So ultimately, it will reduce productivity. So too high WIP will reduce productivity. Now, at the same time, if the WIP limits are very low, it can be underutilization of resources. So there should be an optimum WIP limit, right? There should be an optimum, right? Are you getting my point or not? So should it be true or reducing WIP will decrease results in decreased productivity? Not necessarily. Can I say false or not?
Yes, Pankaj.
Yes.
Right? It will not. You can understand based on the traffic. If most of your roads are overpacked with traffic, right? Are packed with traffic. Can I say a lot of WIP? If if a stretch between 2 traffic signal is packed, is jammed, it's as good as a lot of WIP or not? If it has less than, if it is too empty, then also it's bad. There should be optimum traffic on the road, right? Now tell me, based on the duration of a traffic signal, can you control the traffic situation of a road or a stretch? Based on the traffic signal, based on the duration of traffic signal, can you control the traffic
Yes.
of a
Yes.
stretch? Right? For example, if you know that a stretch is narrow, right? That means and the stretch preceding that is very broad. So you will keep the traffic signal, right, or the red light, right, for the broader road for a longer time to synchronize or not? See, for example, if a stretch of road is like this, see, this is a stretch of road, right? Let's say this, sorry, let me draw this. This is a narrow lane, right? Let's say it's followed by a broad lane, right? And in between, there's a traffic signal, right? There's a traffic signal here. There's a traffic signal here. And then again, it's a broad road. Now tell me, if these are traffic signals, these 2 lines are traffic signals, which traffic signal need to be kept at a, where the red light has to be kept higher for higher duration?
Second one.
Second one, right? Or the first one?
The first one.
First one, because see, what will happen? Otherwise,
Can you
this will
please
get choked
question
on.
again? Can you please
See,
explain
these
again?
are 2 traffic signals. Can you see 2 traffic signals?
Mm-hmm.
This is a broad lane, broad road, followed by a narrow lane.
Okay.
Right? Now tell me, in order to manage the flow from this point to this point, should I keep the traffic signal as red signal for here for a longer duration or not? If I don't keep it, what will happen? Will the traffic choke inside this narrow
Correct.
lane or not?
Correct. Correct.
right? So this is how, you maintain WIP in Kanban mode also, just like traffic signal duration. You have to balance the flow from left to right. Now, see, there should be always optimum WIP limits. Too less WIP limit is also bad, and too high is also bad, right? Too less, too high will lead to delays, right? And other issues. Too less will lead to underutilization. Batch size is same as sprint length when using Scrum with Kanban. No. See, batch size is different. And batch size is the size of the the WIP item, right, that you pull at a single point of time. It's totally different from sprint length, right? Sprint length is a sprint, right? Different thing. Sprint is a fixed length, right? But batch size can vary. Now, the purpose of Scrum team service level expectation is allow teams to give each product backlog item a commitment to a due date as a part of sprint planning. Is it true or a false? Is this the purpose of SLE?
No commitments, I think.
No commitment, right? So false. False, right? It's just an aspiration, idea. Now, Little's law is extremely valuable for directly predicting the future, since it gives measure of what. See, Little's law gives me cycle time. Now tell me, is cycle time a lead indicator or a lag indicator? Lead indicators help us to anticipate, but lag indicators tells you whatever has already happened, right? So first of all, tell me, Little's law give me cycle time, right? Is cycle time a lead indicator or a lag indicator? Anything that tells me whatever has already happened is a lag indicator. Like cycle time, cost variance, schedule variance, they're all lag indicators. Anything that help you to anticipate is a lead indicator. For example, aging. Aging can tell us that, okay, delay may happen, right? It's more like a lead indicator. But cycle time is a lag indicator, right? So what should be the answer? Can cycle time help you to predict future? No. Throughput actually can help you though.
False, I guess.
False, right? In a flow-based system, the number of tasks is not necessarily limited, rather the amount of value generated work. Yeah, actually, see, when we say limit work in progress, it is primarily for the value generated item. That's true. Right? Workflow can be thought of as Scrum team's policy for which of the following? Now you can answer yourself. It's a simple question. Workflow can be thought of as a Scrum team's policy for which of the following? Workflow can be thought of as the Scrum team's policy for which of the following, guys?
D.
Yes. How to get work done? That is only workflow, right? So can I select D? Does anyone think differently? Now, who is accountable for definition of workflow for sprint backlog? You can answer it. Now, workflow is same as, different stages of Kanban. So tell me, who is accountable for definition of workflow in sprint backlog? Is that developer or not? If it is within sprint, developers have full autonomy, right? Now, reducing the batch sizes may have the following impact, right? Reducing the batch sizes might have the following impact. Tell me. I'll say all of the above. Now, tell me if you have difference of opinion. This is a good question. I will say all of the above.
So, Pankaj,
Huh.
A, alpha and beta, aren't they contradictory because like it says lower
Dekho.
efficiency and
See, I'll tell you what. When you reduce the batch size below a certain level, it will be underutilization, as I told you. Dekho, you know, if the work, if you take too less of the work and it has to go through review and retrospection, everything, right? Is it not overhead?
Yes.
Too less of work is also overhead, right? But at the same time, reducing the batch size improve efficiency due to faster feedback loops, right? This is also true. But too low can be bad also. Highlight a need to improve process infrastructure to reduce the pain of frequently costly overheads, right? That is also, you can find out the bottlenecks easily. This is also true. धनंजय करीब 2:30-3 बजे के आसपास मिलेंगे. हेलो. So do we agree with all of these or not? Now, which of these metrics is most valuable for sprint planning? Can I say throughput? Can I say throughput? Actually, it's more like an efficiency. Now, answer this question. Scrum events, Scrum team accountabilities, and Scrum artifacts are changed when using Scrum with Kanban. For example, the Scrum team might choose to omit the sprint retrospective when using Kanban with Scrum. Tell me. We have discussed this. So see, this is something that you have to answer.
True.
No, listen, read it very carefully. You have to do it and explain me also. Ritesh, can you try this question? Scrum event, Scrum team accountabilities, and Scrum artifact are changed when using Scrum with Kanban. Does anything change or only added?
It only Kanban only augment the Scrum. It cannot delete or change anything, right?
Yes.
It's a Scrum ban actually when we
False.
combine with
Yeah,
Scrum.
it's a Scrum ban. So, you know, it only augments. So whatever is there in Scrum is intact, right, Isha?
Yes, Pankaj. So it's
So-
false, right?
False, right? False, right? So whatever is there in Scrum will be retained, but few things will be added, right? So false, absolutely. So we have done all the 15 questions here. right? So all were correct, right? Great work, guys. Now, see, we are left with some topics like, feature-driven development, dynamic system development, right? Extreme programming, and crystal, right? Which can be done pretty fast, but they are new concepts, right? For most of you, right? There are also different agile methodologies, right? Under agile umbrella. Now tell me, I want to spend 15-20 minutes with you. So do you want new topics to be selected, or you want to practice exam questions? You have to tell me, because it is appearing to me that you are getting tired. So when you discuss new concepts or new topics, it further deteriorates the thing, right? So can we start practicing questions instead of starting a new topic, the exam questions?
Yes, please, new questions.
Right, let's do questions, because in questions everybody is awake, right? So let's do one thing. We are starting with questions. Just request, can you stop the recording, guys?